Mike Zipko. I'm the chair of the St. Paul Chamber's Political Action Committee this year, and thanks very much for everybody for coming. Thank you. I want to recognize a few of the elected officials who are here. We have from the Ramsey County Board, we have Commissioner McDonough, Commissioner Ortega, and Commissioner Bennett. Thank you very much for coming. We have others who said they'll be here during the night. Obviously the session's going on, and we have a lot of different people that need to be at different places. I also want to thank some of the other sponsors that made tonight possible. We have some gold hosts, which would Mark Smith, Rebecca Klett, and Ryan Kelly. Recognize them. Our silver level hosts, Dwayne Radel, Brian McClung, John Regal, Bert Mackesy, Matt Kramer, and Ryan Rutzik. Recognize them. Thank you very much. And our bronze hosts, Lou Suarez, Susan Rentz, Bob Hughes, Matt Anfang, Don Maeda, Bill Capping, Rob Clapp, Jackie Meyer, Andy Schreiner, Pat Wolf, and Ryan Calvin. If you can have a little round of applause for them. Well, as the Chamber's Political Action Committee has got a legacy of being involved, trying to make St. Paul a great place for business for support pro-business candidates. And your support tonight really helps us make that happen. We're working very hard to keep the Chamber PAC relevant and engaged in the city council races, because it's important to make sure we have candidates who understand what business is all about. And the person who understands that even more is the mayor of St. Paul, which I'd like to introduce. Chris Coleman is the CEO of the city and counts on the business community to be a strong partner. This weekend is going to be a busy time downtown with the NCAA hockey tournament. A lot of bars and restaurants are going to be full of crowds, people visiting here, and it's part of why business is important to St. Paul. So to keep this program short, I'd like to introduce Mayor Coleman and have him say a few words for us.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be back here in this back room that I didn't even know exists. Every time I turn around, Mo's got another extension of his businesses on West 7th Street, so we're always glad to see that.
Licensing doesn't know.
I check the mayor card at the door. I'm just here as a friend of the community. As Mike alluded to, what an incredible weekend that we're going to have here on West 7th, on Seven Corners. You have already started to see the folks with the jackets from Michigan and North Dakota and Duluth and Notre Dame. I don't know which group of hockey fans is going to be voted the most obnoxious. My money's on Duluth, but they're going to come down here and they're going to see this great city. They're going to have a wonderful time. We're going to have West 7th Street closed off for a while, I think tomorrow, in between games, and we're going to have a great block party. The fact that Shepherd Road is also closed off at the same time, don't ask me how that's all going to work. But we're going to worry about that tomorrow, because this weekend is about having fun. It's about really celebrating the best of St. Paul, whether it's the new bars and restaurants, Xcel Energy Center, all of the things that we have to offer. And I was really trying to view this town from the perspective of someone that was just walking through, coming in from Michigan, someone that may not have been here before. They read the story about the folks from Australia that came up to see the tournament. And I thought, what a wonderful place to land. Much like, a couple of years ago when we had visitors from across the globe coming to our community for the RNC. This is really a spectacular community, and it's because we all work together. It's because we all kind of pull our weight to sell the assets that we have. We're engaged in so many different fronts, whether it's the Regional Economic Development Partnership, that's really going to be, I think, some of the most important work that we do, the regional business planning to really start entrepreneurs going in the right direction, that the Brookings Institute and Jumpstart and others have supported. There's some incredible efforts that could go on. And it's also the small things that we're doing, working on making sure that the ordinances that are before the council are reasonable, that they don't, that they understand from the business perspective what makes sense. We were able to make some very significant changes in sign ordinances recently, very significant changes on sidewalk accessibility so that we can have more vibrancy, more patios, et cetera, et cetera. There's some really good things. I feel so strong about what's happening in our community right now. The partnerships that we have formed, the direction that we're heading, I think is as strong as it has ever been. And it's really amazing that we can say that coming out of the recession that we are finally coming out of some of the challenges that we have faced over the years, quite frankly, coming out of some of the challenges that we're about to face with the uncertainty at the legislature right now. The thing that I think that we need to be concerned about, and I hope that we all pay attention to, and this is not a partisan message, this is a St. Paul message. Right now there's a target on the back of Minneapolis and St. Paul and Duluth. from the legislators up at the Capitol that don't seem to understand that our communities are the economic engine for the whole state of Minnesota. And what's been great is I've been working with mayors across the state that do understand that. Even communities from Granite Falls to Wilmer to Wadena, across the state of Minnesota, mayors are saying, wait a second, we're strong when Minneapolis is strong, we're strong when St. Paul is strong, we're strong when Duluth is strong. And so we need to make sure that whatever happens at the legislature, however they get their way out of this $5+ billion budget problem, they don't do it at the expense of the city of St. Paul. They don't do it at the expense of our school district. They don't do it at the expense of our ability to have an incredible product to sell to the business community and to others. I'm not saying that these are easy times. I'm not saying that there's not some challenges ahead. But the fact that they would single out the three largest cities in the state of Minnesota and treat them differently than everybody else, I think is really misguided. It's like saying, the question was asked by one of our representatives, why is it that you're taking money, local government aid, only away from Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Duluth? And the answer was, well, they're the largest recipients of local government aid, so if we take money away from them, we'll save the most money. And I said, you know, it's like saying to having Ziggy Wolf say, well, you know what, if I get rid of my star quarterback, my star receiver, and my star running back, I will save the most money that I could possibly save on the team. It's true, but you will never have a competitive team if you do that. You'll never be able to win the championship if you do that. These are the economic engines. It's the partnerships that we form. It's working together, making sure that we have a strong community where families want to live, where we have great schools, great business climate, great amenities like the Jazz Festival, like the Final Four. These are the things that make our community strong. They're the things that make the state of Minnesota strong. So as we go forward in these battles, I don't sit here with a lot of answers, but I do know that there's got to be a real serious question about why they're pointing their fingers solely at our three communities and not really kind of taking a balanced approach. So I hope that as the chamber, we stand strong, as the business community, we stand strong and say support our communities, support the work that we've done over the years, and support the future of the city of St. Paul, because it's vitally important to the entire state of Minnesota. Thanks for your work. We've got some council races. We've got some school board races. I hope that you weigh in on this year, because that's absolutely critical to the future of our community. I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to give my State of the City address. If you want to hear that, you can come on April 18th over to Jimmy Lee Rec Center. I'll go on forever then, because no one can take the mic away from me. But here, I'm going to give the mic back to Mike, and thank you all for coming out.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir. Well, yes.
I don't know if
Mr. Anfang.
I don't know if you know this or not, but you declared today, April 6th, Mike Skillroot Day in the state, or in the city of St. Paul.
He may be trying to forget
That
that.
might have been auto pen.
But Mr. Skillroot's right there, and maybe you could repeat the resolution.
Jason, I don't know. Do we have isn't there the Mike Skillroot Day song? We'll get a picture with Mike. Actually, Mike and I get along. We don't always agree,
Absolutely.
but he was the first one to comment on the great article about my daughter out in New York. So I appreciate that. So thank you all. That has nothing to do with anything.
Thanks very much, Mayor. A couple other quick words. I want to thank Mo for hosting us tonight. We really appreciate it, and a great entrepreneur is doing really well here. And a couple other people I want to recognize, Bert Mackesy and Bob Goff, some of the people who are at the beginning of the Chamber's Political Action Committee who are here tonight, and we appreciate that, because our job is to carry on what they're doing. So it's really nice outside. It's a little warm in here, so I think everyone's kind of free to move around where they want to be. Thanks everybody for coming, and I think I'm heading outside with everybody else. So thanks very much.